The term sweatshop is often synonymous with exploitation, poor working conditions, and minimal pay. These factories are the hidden backbone of the fashion industry, churning out massive quantities of clothing for major brands at an astonishingly low cost. The business model is simple: maximized profit margins by minimizing production costs. This is achieved through the exploitation of vulnerable workers, often in developing countries where labor laws are either lax or poorly enforced. Let's take a closer look at the financial mechanics of sweatshops. The average garment worker in a sweatshop earns less than $3 a day. Compare this to the billions in revenue generated by fashion giants. For instance, Nike reported revenues exceeding $44 billion in 2021. The stark disparity between production costs and retail prices reveals a grim truth. The fashion industry's profitability is built on the backs of the world's poorest workers. One of the most notorious examples of sweatshop exploitation occurred in Bangladesh in 2013. The Rana Plaza factory collapse killed over 1,100 workers and injured more than 2,500. This tragedy highlighted the extreme dangers workers face in these environments. The building was structurally unsound, yet employees were forced to continue working despite clear warnings of potential collapse. The reason? The relentless demand for cheap, fast fashion. The economics of sweatshops are brutal. These factories are often located in regions where there is an abundant supply of cheap labor. Countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, and India are prime locations due to their low minimum wages and high unemployment rates. This allows fashion brands to exert enormous pressure on suppliers to cut costs, often resulting in the most vulnerable bearing the brunt of cost-cutting measures. In financial terms, the cost savings for these brands are immense. By paying workers mere cents per hour, companies can significantly reduce their overall production expenses. This enables them to maintain high profit margins while keeping retail prices competitive. However, the true cost is borne by the workers who toil in hazardous conditions, with little to no job security or benefits. Moreover, the environmental impact of sweatshops is often overlooked. These factories typically operate with little regard for environmental regulations, leading to significant pollution and waste. The drive for constant production often results in the use of harmful chemicals and dyes, which are then released into local water supplies, causing widespread ecological damage. The financial success of sweatshop-dependent brands is a stark contrast to the plight of their workers. While shareholders and executives reap the rewards of high profit margins and booming stock prices, the workers are left to endure long hours, unsafe conditions, and abysmally low wages. This glaring inequity is a direct result of the global economic system that prioritizes profit over people. Consumers also play a crucial role in perpetuating the sweatshop model. The demand for cheap, trendy clothing fuels the fast fashion industry, which in turn relies on sweatshops to meet production targets. Every purchase made from a brand that exploits sweatshop labor contributes to the cycle of abuse and exploitation. The financial bottom line for these companies is clear. As long as there is demand for cheap clothing, there will be supply from sweatshops. To truly understand the financial implications of sweatshops, one must consider the broader economic context. These factories are not isolated incidents, but are part of a global supply chain designed to maximize efficiency and profit. The low production costs translate into higher profit margins for brands, allowing them to invest in marketing, expand their product lines, and increase their market share. In conclusion, the business model of sweatshops is a sobering reflection of the global economy's darker side. It exposes the extreme lengths to which companies will go to reduce costs and increase profits, often at the expense of human lives and dignity. As consumers, we have the power to demand change by making informed choices and supporting brands that prioritize ethical labor practices. The true cost of fashion is far greater than the price tag. It is a cost paid in human suffering and environmental degradation. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe.